name is Neo Tansa. I work for Santam Insurance, currently in the legal department, specialist claims. I signed up for the Insurance Apprentice Season 8 because I felt it would grow me and I'd get to learn a whole lot more about the insurance and what it's all about.
My name is Christel Orendal and I'm a claims specialist at the Hollard Insure space in the Central Region. I've never been able to actually enter until this year, and I saw my chance and I tried. It's been something that I wanted to try for forever.
My name is Molatelo and I work for Auto & General and I'm a sales manager there. So I signed up for the Insurance Apprentice because I just really wanted to do something challenging. Also, to grow a bit. The networking opportunities are great, obviously. And I think also the prizes are awesome as well. So I think, it's a combination of those.
I'm Masachaba Mahaba. I work at Cedric, South Africa as a business interruption loss adjuster. The reason I've signed up for the Insurance Apprentice the second year in a row is because last year kind of felt like a little bit unfinished. And I just wanted to come back, just finish everything off with a nice, neat bow and feel like I've given everything that I could to get the best result out of it.
The journey's been amazing. I've met some wonderful people. I've been exposed to so many new things.
I think I'm still floating, so it hasn't really hit me yet.
I am so happy to be in the finals. I just missed that episode last year and I'm here now.
My strategy is to just be myself and then just do my best.
Just come to the party and give them what they're looking for.
I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna have fun. I think I'm not gonna compromise who I am.
I will not go down without a fight.
If it does happen that I don't win, I would have at least enjoyed the journey. So for me, that's important.
My strategy to win this time is to just show up, stand in front of the judges, be strong in my convictions.
I will try my utmost best to fight for my place.
I want to win, guys. I want to win.
This year has been interesting. I thought maybe coming back it would be a little bit easier, but actually it's been quite challenging, and I think it's because I had expectations already.
I'm mostly excited about all the opportunities, mentorships, and I think growth excites me.
Hi. Nice to see you. Hey, nice to see you. How was the drive?
Okay.
If I had to win this season of The Apprentice, it would just be absolutely fantastic. Words cannot tell you how much it would mean to me on a personal level and also for my career.
I'm a very persistent person, so you can tell me that no, I will keep pushing until it turns into a yes.
And I'd be so chuffed to win this. I'd literally be so proud of myself.
Welcome back, contestants, to the 9th and final episode of the Insurance Apprentice of 2022. I'm joined once again by my fellow judges, some faces that you might recognize. Of course, Nox Dlamini from Zon Risk. Welcome back, Nox.
Thanks, Simon.
Any last words?
Yeah, guys, you're right there, right? You can see it, you can taste it, but I think my advice to you would be to forget that. It's another task, right? Just focus on getting through the task. If you focus on the big prize, you might just get overwhelmed. So sit back, relax, enjoy, leave it all on the floor today, and may the best women win.
Thanks, Nox. And I'm also joined today by someone very special. It's Lisa Setskorn. Lisa may be familiar to you. She was a finalist back in 2017 Insurance Apprentice, when we used to do things face-to-face all the time. Lisa,
Yes.
any advice for the contestants?
I think my advice to you guys would be to really listen. It was something I battled with, Simon would know. So listen to what your task is, listen to what it is. Don't listen to answer, listen truly, get it all in, and put your best foot forward. You're in the finals and you guys should be proud of that. So put your best foot forward, go through it, think about what you're doing, and give us your best. So yeah, that's all I can say. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Lisa. The last time we met, I think I actually fired you.
You did indeed. You did indeed, Simon.
Anyway, good to have you on this side of the table.
Much better to be on this side of the table.
All right, so once again, I must say congratulations. We, of course, started with over 50 contestants, and it's down to just the 4 of you. 4 ladies in the final. You all deserve to be here. Unfortunately, one of you may have made this journey for a very short time, because we can't take all 4 of you into the final task. And one of you will be going home right now. You'll see 4 buzzers in front of you. I will now be asking 10 questions to you as a team. The first buzzer gets an opportunity to answer the question. A correct answer will generate 6 points. An incorrect answer will see 3 points being deducted from your score. If somebody gets the answer incorrect, buzzers will be reactivated and one of the other contestants may have an opportunity to answer that question. Of course, if they also get it wrong, they will also see 3 points being deducted from their scores. At the end of the game, the lowest score will be leaving us immediately. Contestants, are you ready?
Ready.
Question 1. On what business model does Discovery base their health and insurance offerings? Nao,
Medical.
say again.
On medical.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is shared value insurance. Shared value insurance is a globally recognized and award-winning principle. What does shared value insurance mean for Discovery, and how does it work?
It has a shared value in the sense that if all the people drive well, there's lesser accidents, so they save, and the insurance premiums gets cheaper. So in the sense, the clients are being rewarded for driving well, but there are also rewards in it for them.
All right, that is correct, Christelle. Well done. Cyber risks have become more prevalent around the world as we move into a more digitally enabled and technology advanced environment. But with cyber risks come a range of other risks. What other risk increases with the increased prevalence of cyber incidents? Christelle.
There's a bigger risk of business interruption taking place.
That is correct. Risk management is an important aspect of corporate governance. What method can companies use to understand the risks? Yes, Nara.
The ESG method.
That is incorrect. All right, Molatelo.
I think diagnostic tools, something that they can use.
That is also incorrect. The correct answer is enterprise risk management. Okay, ERM. According to statistics from the United States Small Business Administration, what percentage of businesses fail within 2 years? Nao, going for broke here.
54%.
That is incorrect. Molatelo?
It was 90%.
That is correct.
Oh gosh.
Right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. In first place with 12 points, we've got Christelle. In second place with 3 points, we've got Molatelo. In third place on 0, which is interesting, Masichaba. And then we have Neo in last place with -9. But of course, Neo, if you manage to get 2 questions right, that means Masichaba is going home. But well done to those of you that have risked it all and managed to get some points. Okay, your next question. Who is the CEO of Discovery Insure? Molatelo?
It's Adrian Gore.
That is incorrect.
Come on.
Glen Grove.
No.
That is also incorrect.
It's Andrew Gore.
That is also incorrect. The CEO of Discovery Insure
Oh, Insure.
is Anton Ossip. Blood on the battlefield there. Your next question. Name 2 vendors that can be found at the Discovery head office. Christelle.
There's a Woolworths and there's a Starbucks.
That is correct. All right, next question. True or false? Due to the nature of cyber risks, it is always possible for a business to quantify their cyber risk exposure at any given time. Now,
False.
that is correct. Well done, Nara. How much cash back can business insurance clients get on their monthly data costs with MTN? Christelle?
I think it's a percentage, 15%.
That is incorrect. The correct answer was up to 50%. 5-0. Next question. Who is Discovery Business Insurance's cyber security partner? Christelle?
IVES.
That is correct. Well done. Right, let's take a look at that final leaderboard. In first place, with 18 points, Christelle. Well done, Christelle. And then tied in second and third place, we have Molatelo and Masichaba, both on 0. And then on a score of -9. And the person leaving us at this late stage of the competition is Nao. Nao, you did extremely well to get this far in the competition. I'm sorry to see you leave like this, but you've not managed to attain your Discovery Diamond status. And so it's time to say goodbye. You are dismissed.
Thank you.
All right, to the rest of you, you're still in the game. Well done. Masichaba, how do you feel about the way you played that round?
Wasn't so much a play, actually. I just could never answer a question halfway through. I have to hear the whole question before I even come up with an answer.
It wasn't a strategy to not answer once you knew that Nao was going down.
No, it was never that. Because she could have come back at any point.
I mean, I think, and this is to all of you, not just you, Masichaba, you were given quite a lot of material about Discovery and about Discovery Insure in particular. And for none of you to know the name of the CEO after having several goes, I think is pretty shocking. Did you actually read the material?
Yeah, I think we didn't listen to the whole question. We just got excited that, oh,
You got
there was a
excited and
name.
thought, here's one that I know.
Here's one that we could know.
Okay, well, look, I hope this doesn't count against you as we go in. You've obviously not impressed the sponsor by not knowing some fairly basic things about their business model. But Lisa will take you through the task right after the break.
The way the world does business has changed, and the risks you face as a business have changed too. That's why you need business insurance that provides real value by giving you innovative, comprehensive cover as well as unique solutions to help protect you against the risks of today. Discovery Business Insurance partners with you by protecting your business and rewarding you for managing it well. Because when you manage your business well, you reduce risk, creating a better business and ultimately creating value that can be shared back with you. We call this shared value insurance. Discovery Business Insurance also gives you Vitality Drive for Business, a driver behavior program that uses state-of-the-art technology to keep your vehicles and drivers safe. It also gives you up to 30% cash back on your vehicle insurance premiums and up to 50% discount on tires, as well as weekly rewards for your drivers just for driving well. With Discovery Business Insurance, you also get access to business coaching and access to credit based on turnover through our network of partners, because we believe in helping our clients to grow their business. And we'll give you as much as 50% cash back on business data spend, helping you thrive in a digital world. We take care of your business so that you can focus on your ambitions. Discovery Business Insurance. Insurance for a new way of doing business.
Right, moving into the final task of the Insurance Apprentice 2022. I'm going to hand over to Lisa Setskorn from Discovery Insure now to take you through today's challenge. Lisa.
Congratulations, ladies. Very proud of you for getting into the final round and the final task. Unfortunately, I must be honest, as both the sponsor and a prior contestant, I was a bit disappointed with that round. A lot of questions not answered. It was pretty disappointing. So I'm really hoping you guys wow us, because that was rather a poor showing. On behalf of Discovery Insure, I'd like to welcome you to One Discovery Place. So our task for today is, as you would have noticed when you walked in, there's a lot of businesses that operate within the Discovery building. There's lots of little different businesses that are inside the building, not just Discovery itself. So the task today is to vibe with one of these businesses. You'll get to know these businesses. Also have a look at what their risks would be and what their hazards would be, and have a think about what you need to offer them in terms of an insurance offering. And at the end of it, we need you to put together a full insurance proposal for this company. So whatever company you pick, make sure you've thought of all the risks, including intangible risks. So don't always just think, fire, flood, water damage. I need you to think a little bit broader than that. And I need you to include something special. So some technologically special thing, something to do with risk management. Remember, the core of Discovery's business. So I know you guys didn't answer this one. Discovery's core purpose is to make people healthier and to enhance and protect their lives. So this dovetails with Discovery Insure's core purpose. So as Discovery Business Insure, our core purpose is to build better businesses. And in building better businesses, a business with a good risk management strategy, their business will be more resilient to knocks that come in the future. And you need to think about that when you're thinking about these businesses. So I need you to come up with something a little bit special to think about that, and then come up with a proposal for this business. So when you're coming back, you're going to pick a business and come up with a proposal for that business for the insurance.
Great, thanks Lisa. Right, so right here within the Discovery building, there are 3 businesses who you'll be able to chat to. You can only pick one, obviously, and I think what we're going to do is just give you the option to choose in the same option that you finished the last round. So the 3 businesses are Woolworths, there's the Bosch Vehicle Service Centre, and there's the gym, all in this building. Christelle, you won the last round, so you get first choice. Which of those businesses?
The Bosch Vehicle Service Centre, please.
Okay, great. Molatelo, you were second
Okay, I'll go with Woolworths.
with Woolworths.
Yeah.
And Masachaba, the gym is all yours. All right, you'll have 60 minutes to prepare and meet with the clients. And then we'll see you back here, whereafter you'll have 5 minutes to deliver your presentations to us. Good luck.
I got, saddled, not really saddled, with the task of coming up with a good proposition for Zenzele Fitness, which is located on the 8th floor of the Discovery building. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm Masachaba.
Dumi Pake.
Nice to meet you, Dumi.
Awesome, thanks.
I'm quite glad that I ended up with this business.
I went with Woolies, Woolworths Food. Yeah, that's my task, actually, to get to see how we can manage their risks better. Hi, Sis Nante.
Hi, Latif.
Hi. Thank you so much for seeing us today.
The company that I have chosen is Bosch Car Services. They are situated in the Discovery office, the basement, which is very cool. You can have your car serviced while working at Discovery. I think it's awesome. They are very unique in what they actually provide clients. So I believe I have a winning company on my side. Hi, Rodney.
Hi, good day, Christelle. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and you?
Good, thank you.
Today we have to discuss some of the risks in your business that you face. It's not an area that's well known to me, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
Time is ticking. We have such little time, and that's the most stressful thing. So on a day-to-day basis, what's the biggest risk that you face in your business?
The fact that the business or the building is not having the 100% of the staff complement.
The main way of making money is by having Discovery employees at work. And right now, most of them are at home.
The typical risk, obviously because this is a fitness center, is injury from our customers. So we generally would have to have third-party liabilities for any possible claims.
To come into a business that I've never really been exposed to on an insurance level and kind of find out what affects those businesses has been really interesting.
So, it's been interesting with the pandemic because we sort of had to start thinking outside of the box. So we've actually digitized some of our business, whereby, people in the comfort of their own home, they can still be able to access our services.
But there's a lot of risks that jump out when you walk around there. Risk that's eye-catching. How many employees do you have at this branch?
Currently now we've got 2 technicians that are based here.
Okay, and both of them are qualified and have driver's licenses?
Yes, they do.
So there's a big financial risk that he faces.
How often do you have to change the equipment then in the interactive section?
We try and make sure that every month they get serviced.
Throughout this whole journey, I've been the underdog. I've been in the bottom the most. I know I must not relax.
If a vehicle is not finished on time, we do get penalized for that in terms of monetary values.
I'm going to take everything that I've learned in the competition, try and remember and apply that, and then just give it my best.
I feel very nervous about this task. So there's very little time to absorb your feelings.
I am so happy to be in the finals. My strategy to win this time is to just show up, stand in front of the judges, be strong in my convictions, and just come to the party and give them what they're looking for.
All right, Masachaba, well, welcome back. I trust you've used your hour wisely.
I hope I did.
Do you want to start off by just telling us which business you've been doing work on?
Good day. Today I met with Dumi Pake, the founder and CEO of Zenzele Fitness Group. It's a group of fitness centers. Currently they have 22 fitness centers in the country, and they're looking into branching into the retail space and expanding their group in that way. The aim of my meeting with Mr. Pake was to arrive at a suitable proposal for his business based on existing risks that had already been identified and those that had not yet been. Through our conversations, Mr. Pake mainly identified 3 risks in his business. I think first and foremost on his mind was pandemic. Due to the physical nature of his business, Mr. Pake felt that should there be another pandemic, his business would be at a huge disadvantage. He secondly then said liability in its many forms was one of his bigger risks as well, ranging from injury on the part of customers, professional indemnity when speaking to his personal trainers, and also employer's liability in the case where his staff would get injured on the job. The third risk that Mr. Pake identified was machinery breakdown, and this machinery being the biggest asset in his business. We delved into now the assets that the business owns just to figure out on the asset side of his business, how would he need to protect himself? And the biggest assets that we identified was, of course, the machinery, a fleet of motor vehicles that were used for events and for transporting equipment to and from these events, and as well as a lot of electronic equipment, some of them fixed on the machines that people use to exercise and therefore very susceptible to theft. In terms of cover relating to Mr. Pake's property, I then found the solutions to be cover for plant and machinery, theft cover, power surge cover due to the electrical nature of the equipment within the premises, and motor vehicle cover. The other big fish in this sea was liability. And as mentioned before, Mr. Pake had already identified the fact that they had a huge risk of customer injury, professional indemnity, as well as employer's liability. However, with the gym operating on an app basis, and a large intake of customer information, personal and both financial, cyber would be one of the risks that I saw to be huge in this business. And additional to that, participant liability, as it seemed that the business had a likelihood of having bi-monthly festivals and exercise events, where the participants of these events were outside of the gym space that was already covered. In addition to the risks that we've identified, one of the things that we were required to do as part of this challenge was to come up with an innovative solution. And the thing that kept ringing through my mind was, we've got high voltage equipment that uses a large amount of electricity in a country where load shedding and power outages are the talk of the day. And therefore, all this machinery would be highly susceptible to power surge, as we had already eliminated the likelihood of an outage itself affecting the business. Mr. Pake had explained that all his businesses, all his leases were contingent upon the fact that the leaser would provide him with an alternate energy source in the case of load shedding. Therefore, this was not a risk for his business. However, as we know, when the power comes back on, it often brings us a lot of problems. And there came in the idea of the surge meter. The surge meter is an online tool that uses voltmeter characteristics to identify the amount of voltage that is carried in a machine based on the make, the model, and the year. And from this information, we can then recommend, as a risk management strategy, the correct surge protector for each type of equipment, and also recommend the correct supplier and installer for this equipment.
Sorry, your time is up.
Thank you.
I think we're going to go straight into some questions. Lisa, I'll hand over to you first.
So I just wanted to ask you, I noted that you didn't bring into your present accidental damage or glass cover.
Yes, I didn't. It's actually, no, I didn't even touch on that with the insured.
So in an instance where you mentioned that all of Mr. Pake's sites he's in an agreement with the lessor to provide an alternative energy source. So what value would this actually bring when he's already got protection for that? It seems he's already managed that risk.
So he's managed the risk, the power risk. However, when electricity switches over from the alternate source being a generator back to normal electricity, surge is one of their bigger risks. Similar to other big machinery companies, we've been seeing a recurring pattern of surge damage to plant and machinery.
Masachaba, did you have any conversations with the client about, what they felt they could use or what they needed or could be implemented that could improve their business? So, or did you just focus on having conversations around insurance and insurance risk?
So it was mostly centered around risk, but we did discuss, obviously, in the case of, especially with pandemic cover not being available anymore.
What was the outcome of that part of the conversation?
That part of the conversation. So what he had said to me is that they already do have almost an online presence and an app in place with their customers, even though there's some teething problems, but it's been going quite well and they've been able to actually generate some revenue from that.
Okay, I think it would have been great if you explored that a bit more, because that kind of fits in with Discovery's shared value. I mean, there might be some partnering that we could do there beyond just having them in the building. I mean, you're talking about one of the most digitally adept businesses, and here's a business owner that's already identified that they could benefit from that.
Masachaba, something that you mentioned quite briefly was the fact that your client has got into a hybrid business model, training people at home now, obviously post-pandemic, but you didn't mention any risks associated with that. So are there any emerging risks in that space that he hasn't considered, accounted for, that you could assist with the management thereof?
Definitely the injury aspect, they haven't considered in that space. And I mean, you've got a personal trainer giving instructions to people over an app with no monitoring at all.
How do you manage that risk?
Actually, not sure.
Masachaba, I know you were about to go into detail about your actual solution when your time ran out. Just walk me through how this thing works.
The info we would need, firstly, to have the model work from our side as maybe an insurer, would be that we would need to have the latest equipment, identify the industries in which our clients operate, so that we can have the information readily on the system. Then the system already knows how much power and how much voltage runs through the machine, and can, based on that recommendation, we've got a group of service providers for surge protection equipment.
Is it a problem that a lot of clients have, that they've got the wrong surge protector in?
Most of them don't even have one in.
Do you have data to back that up, that clients put in the wrong surge protector?
It's just something that I've picked up from the claims I've dealt with in that space.
Okay, I just want to thank Snox. Lisa, you had one more question, I think.
Yeah, so one sort of brief question. It sort of circles back to more the risk management aspect of things. I think you missed out one major one in terms of his equipment. So obviously with a building this big, we do have a sprinkler system that sits in this building. And I think one of the big aspects that you missed out was the leakage of that sprinkler system onto his equipment. So that was one thing. So it wasn't really a question, it was more a statement. So it was something that you missed. So it was one thing that, you can see the sprinkler heads. It's something I thought you should have thought about.
Great. Thanks, Masachaba. We'll deliberate and get back to you.
Thank you. I am so relieved. Knox was the one who most didn't believe in the idea. Like, she didn't find it believable. The first thing I had to research what is a proposal. Because I didn't know what a proposal was. I'd never seen one.
I'm going to do my best. I'm going to have fun. I think like there's like a deep fire burning within me, and I think that's the one thing that sets me apart from other people, because when I do something, I really put everything into it.
All right, Monatello, your time starts now. Go for it.
All right. So our client was Woolworths Food, and I'd like to first start by establishing what the client does. So what they do is that they sell food and convenient products. They service clients on a daily basis. They also make food. Their most popular area in the store is the interactive food area, where they make food for Discovery employees on a daily basis. So despite being a supermarket and experiencing all the general risks that supermarkets experience, they are currently, during COVID, were experiencing more risks during the pandemic because of their location being Discovery, as well as their clients being Discovery employees. Some of these challenges, more than anything, were the fact that a lot of Discovery employees have now moved to the work from home system, which means that they have a lot less clients coming in, which makes it a struggle to get a lot of the stock off the shelves. Obviously, they also do experience equipment breakdowns. As I said, their most popular area in the store that brings them also quite a large amount of money is the interactive area. They make a lot of food. Their ovens work a lot because of this area. It's so big that it competes with the larger Woolies interactive areas like Sandton cities. So because of this, they experience a lot of equipment breakdown, and obviously also the general slip and falls that you would have in a supermarket. I thought of obviously liability cover for their clients that come in, food spoilage. As we said, they are currently experiencing a lot of this because of the number of clients that they have. Generally stock cover, because of the stock, going off and all that loss of income, during the pandemic, the stage 5, a lot of people were working from home. They do have a lot of their stuff back at the office, but obviously now because of their profits, they can't manage a lot, like how many Discovery employees are at the office. I thought of business interruption cover that they should have, as well as contingent business interruption, because Woolies uses specific suppliers. Even when it comes to their machinery, they only have certain people that can fix their ovens. They are not allowed to use any other suppliers. So that becomes a bit of a problem should anything happen to the service providers who actually fix their machinery. So that's what I thought of. However, I'd like to focus on their main issues at the moment, which we've discussed are the number of employees in the business. Because on different days, the number of staff coming into the business is unpredictable. They don't know, they really can't put a number to how many people will be buying from their shop. They don't open on weekends. So whatever stock is left on Fridays and doesn't get bought will be the waste on Mondays. So their biggest issue is on Fridays. And as also a way to solve this, because they can't keep claiming for insurance for this, I thought of Discovery is already so innovative and, when it comes to apps and all those things. So I thought of actually having an app for Woolies, and even all the other vendors can use that app at Discovery, where maybe, first of all, they can have a reward system for buying food on Fridays. There can be a certain limit. They can set a minimum of groceries bought on Fridays, and you can accumulate points. But because Fridays are the biggest struggle, they have to buy so much stock during the week just so that their service is also not bad. It's the worst mistake that could happen is for clients to walk in and not find, a certain thing because they were limiting their stock because they were considering Friday. So on Fridays, after a certain time, they could have, a reward system, rewards for whoever buys groceries of a certain amount of money, and they get points that accumulate and they can use them anytime at the Woolies. Or if collaborations are always good, it would motivate people to actually buy more if they could also use these points with other vendors. In the app, we could also avoid the traffic, because they did say that there are peak times.
Sorry, Molatelo, your time is up. And I'm so sorry that it is, because it felt like you were just getting to the important part of your presentation.
Please.
We had to live through the first 4.5 minutes just to try and get to when you were getting to your innovative ideas.
Yeah.
Lisa?
I had very little of the insurance presentation. So sort of what they would need to insure. I don't know that you covered that well enough. You didn't really mention, so you mentioned you didn't really mention the different sections of cover and those kind of things. And you did mention public liability in a very sort of offhand sort of manner. We obviously with them, like products liability is super important because they are a retailer. I was really glad that you went into the specified suppliers and business interruption, which was really great. That there were things like accidental damage, electronic equipment, plant and machinery, power surge that you didn't really cover.
So can I reply to that? So they were actually also telling me, so I thought power surges would be a big problem for that, but because of Discovery's backup systems with the generators, they say it actually never affects them. You should have brought
that into your presentation, that you'd identified it as a risk and that it was mitigated, because you remember part of risk management is mitigating.
100%.
So that was a big part of it.
Cruella?
Yeah, I'm sort of scrambling to find content to question you on, because so what I'd like to hear more of is emerging risks. Did you consider those? Is there anything that we haven't thought about that could potentially, that they face, that could present an opportunity for an insurance solution to be developed?
Yeah, I think more than, as I said, the current risk is the stock, getting off the shelves.
Emerging risk.
So yeah, no, I didn't think about that.
That's a shame. When I tell you, it was one of the requirements. And then in terms of the innovation, the little that we heard, in terms of obviously rewarding people for purchasing food so that the stock is used up.
Yeah.
But does this reward not already exist with, between Discovery Vitality and Woolies?
Yeah, it exists only with, like, in general for Woolies, right? But this could be an extra reward system for this particular Woolies. But now the issue is that they are trying to just get stock off the shelves, right? Because they get rid of whatever food is left on the Monday.
It's probably unlikely, though, that the cost of building that into the app would be justified just to help out this store, or maybe there's a handful of others that are in corporate locations. I mean, why don't they just have a sale on a Friday?
True.
But then, Malatela, is this not just a stock management issue?
On some weeks, you have, on certain days, you have more people just coming into the Woolies. So it's very difficult for them to even predict because they are so inconsistent.
So do you think if you come up with an algorithm to help them, that would have been a better innovation?
That could have helped as well.
So with perishables, would it not be possible to just send it to a store that does open on weekends, like Santon, to move that stock?
I'm assuming that should have been a general thing. So I'm wondering if they can't do that.
Yeah, the worry with innovation is if you innovate for the sake of innovating, it's worthless. You need to be adding value. So I just advise you to think about that next time.
Okay.
I have no more questions. You?
I'm good, thanks, Anna.
Lisa? No. Thanks, Molatelo.
Thank you.
You may go.
It didn't go according to plan. I forgot a lot of things, in all honesty. But, let me tell you, these things never go as planned. When you are in front of the judges, you'll even forget your own name.
A characteristic that I have that sets me apart most definitely would be my fighting spirit. I will not go down without a fight. If I had to win this season of The Apprentice, it would just be absolutely fantastic.
Your 5 minutes starts now.
Good afternoon, judges. I had the privilege today of spending some time with Rodney Govender at the Bosch car service, which is situated in the Discovery building. Before I had to even look at the risks, I had to get to know his company better and what he does and what they do on a daily basis. It's one of 3 branches. At the branch here at Discovery, they do minor services, as well, minor and major services, as well as minor accident repairs. So they work, their clients in essence is the end customer, which is the client, the driver of the vehicle, as well as insurance companies, if you look at it like that. The risks that they face that I had to look at, there was a ton of traditional insurance risks that I could identify, but I decided on not focusing on that as such. I'm going to mention them, and then I'm going to take out 3 that I decided to focus on. So the traditional insurance risks that I could identify was the normal fire risks, theft, normal motor risks in terms of traders' internal and external risks that they are facing, as well as liability risk in terms of injury on duty, as well as injury of third parties on their premises. That is traditional risks that they face. In my conversations with Rodney, it came to light that he's not that well educated on the cyber risk that his company might face. In discussing with him, he told me all about the system that they are using. It is a cloud-based system, and he seemed to understand that that provided him with sufficient safety, with the system server being cloud-based. So that is an area of concern for me and that I would definitely have a look at for him. The second thing that he faced is not a traditional insurance risk as such, but a financial risk. His conversations to me stated that he is struggling quite somewhat to get his money in from insurance companies after repairing a vehicle. The time delay there is too long. In actual fact, he's given the insurance companies quite a bad rap if you look at it. This is something that we need to discuss, and I will later on discuss my possible solutions for that as well. Another thing that he also mentioned, insurance related, is that he feels that there isn't an insurance policy that's tailor-made to his business. And he feels that when he takes out insurance and he doesn't claim for an X period of time, that he doesn't benefit from it that much. I also thought of a solution for that and that we can address later on. And then the last thing that he said, that the risk that he faced was reputational risk. When he's not able to deliver a vehicle after it's been repaired on time. So the time delay there again. His reputation would suffer damage in a sense, then leading to financial loss as well. So my possible solutions would be, or value proposition to him would be, a business policy, business short-term insurance policy that covers the traditional risk with comprehensive cyber insurance cover to address the cyber aspect of it. So the insurance risks aside, the financial risk, I would say to him to rather spend some more time and effort on a proper accounts process so that he can follow up on the accounts that still owe to him. In terms of reputational risk, where he feels that the time delay is an issue when he can't get a vehicle out on time to a client, and clients are following up and he's busy with clients on the phone the whole time, not able to do the actual work that he has to do. My suggestion would be for him to invest, or for them to invest in maybe getting a program or a system that gives automatic feedback to the clients. To say, listen, this is where your vehicle currently is in the process, and this is how long it will take still for it to be finished. Also, in terms of the insurance not being tailor-made to him, I threw out an idea, and it might not be something that is even possible, or it might be something that's already out there that I'm not aware of. But I mentioned to him, so he said to me, years go by without them claiming, and they don't really see the benefit. And I asked them, so do you belong to regulatory bodies? And he said, yes, they belong to 2 regulatory bodies. And they pay fees for that. So my suggestion would be, can't we partner with an insurer to say, if a client is claim-free for X period of time, that they contribute to the fees for that company's regulatory fees then, if that's even possible. And that is it.
Yo, well done, Christelle. That was on 5 minutes. Lisa?
With the fire risk management, I just wanted to ask you whether there was anything that you noticed in terms of fire. Is there any risk mitigation in this particular building?
Yes, there definitely is. I noticed a lot of fire exits and fire hoses placed, and also extinguishers. It's all over the place. You can't miss them. So in terms of that, they do have cover in a sense, but there's definitely things that they can do better.
Knox?
Sure. In terms of the cash flow risk, are there SLAs in place? Is that a possible way to manage the risk of getting payment?
Knox, I had an in-depth discussion with him, especially regarding the insurers, because like I said, insurers has a bad rap with him, and I tried my very best to persuade him that it's not everyone. And SLAs currently are in place in terms of an agreement that they reach with the insurer before they actually become a preferred supplier of such an insurer. And those insurers sometimes just doesn't keep to it. So I would suggest that maybe revisiting these agreements that they have with the insurers to see, and also maybe include a clause to cover him in a sense, and say, listen, it's fine, we'll stick with your SLAs and get the vehicle out in, let's say, 5 days, but I'm gonna have to hold you to pay me within 30 days. And if not, there should be clear repercussions for both parties. Because currently he's facing monetary penalties if he doesn't get a vehicle out in time. Did I answer you, Knox?
No, you did. Am I satisfied is another question, but... So your advice to him is to go back to the same people he's scared of asking to enforce his policies to revisit the SLAs that already include these clauses?
Maybe just use your regulatory bodies to actually help you have the conversation, because you pay them.
Yeah, well, I think that's what I was looking for.
I'd actually like to do business with this guy, because I've never met a car repair place that doesn't at least have liability claims. What do you suppose the biggest liability risk is for a business like this?
The actual vehicle being damaged, the vehicle that they work on. But he said he has cover in place for when the vehicle reaches or when the job card is signed until it leaves the floor. He has cover for that. So therefore, I didn't address that part.
Do you know, I mean, this building that we're in is probably one of the most expensive buildings in the country. What happens if a fire starts in his premises and spreads to the rest of the building? Because spread of fire liability is a big problem for small businesses that are in bigger business properties.
Definitely, yes. I did not think about that angle.
In terms of the cyber risks, so well done for mentioning that, because I don't think it's something you sort of think about in that sort of business, which is really good.
Thank you.
In terms of risk mitigation, so if you had to advise Rodney, so what would you advise him in terms of risk mitigation? So your first step in terms of the risk mitigation would be a cyber policy.
Yes.
Is there anything else that he could do?
Things I just noticed while sitting there is he leaves his system up open. He doesn't lock the computer. I would start with that.
So clean desk policy, well done, good one.
The second thing would be to maybe implement multi-factor authentication to make sure that it is in fact the correct person accessing the system. And then also just to have backups. It would be where I would start.
Okay, cool, moving on. So the reputational risk aspect was from time delays, correct? And your solution to that is a progress tracker.
Yes.
I can automate. Wonderful. But that's not gonna change how much time is still taking to fix a client's car. So you're giving him updates that, hey, your car's taking 2 months to be fixed. That's just gonna annoy them. So does that actually address the root cause? And what's your risk management solution for the actual time delays? Did you talk about that risk, what causes it, and how to fix it?
If I have to say where this whole issue is created is by the process from receiving the claim at an insurer's point at the insurer to actually approving it, and then from there on for them to order the parts. So the whole process to him felt tedious. But I also have to say that he doesn't work on the system that most insurers work on, which is Auditex, when it comes to motor claims. And I think I would advise him to perhaps consider that, because that would take some of the time delay out.
I don't have any more questions. Anything more from you?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Knox, you're done?
I am.
All right, thanks, Christelle.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christelle.
I believed in what I presented, so I'm sure that came across, and that's the only thing I said I wanted to do, is believe in what I present, and I'm sure the rest will sort it out itself.
Okay, so yeah, let's chat about this one here in the middle
Okay.
first.
I think overall, in terms of the insurance offering, I think she did a fairly good job. She mentioned some really good points.
Were they happy with the innovation? I really don't know.
And it was difficult. And as much as I hit some points, I think I missed a couple.
I would have liked to see less of a focus on the specific business and more of a focus on a retail type of business.
Is that really what we asked of her though?
We asked for an innovation. So I don't know that was innovative enough, you know?
Kind of half and half about how the challenge went. On the other hand, I'm very proud of myself for tackling something like that. But on the other hand, I'm a bit skeptical just because of the reactions of others to it.
I think I can't say well, because I don't know. They have serious poker faces.
I was almost like going, she's going to say something amazing now. I know it's coming, and it didn't actually come.
It was a bit whiff-off. I don't think she had formed her idea.
Not everything needs an app. It was a letdown.
So I'm happy. Again, I've beat a personal best.
Like, you know, if I were asked if I have any regrets, I definitely don't have any.
I couldn't really vocalize what it is that I wanted to present.
I had high hopes.
So did I. I had high hopes too.
I thought there'd be something special.
Everyone, guys, we're in the finale.
Yeah,
Yes.
true. You know, some people are just really great virtually and are not that great in person.
My performance in the presentation was, I feel like, in between.
Master Chava's presentation, I think, went well. That lady can present.
And then we have this one over here. Knox, what did you think?
Quite clear, quite concise, straight to the point. You know, a good understanding of your base risks.
You know what? Lottie's presentation, I think, she blew them away with the way she thinks.
I walked out of there not confident at all. So, I don't know. I really don't know.
I think it's pretty clear who the winner is.
We have a winner.
I don't think
We have a winner.
there's any doubt. We're all in agreement.
Yes, we're in agreement.
Oh my God, I can put my brain to rest.
I feel calm knowing that I cannot change anything now.
I want to win, guys. I want to win. So, I'm feeling extremely nervous.
So we're settled then.
Yes.
We are.
This is our runner-up, and that is our winner.
Yes. Happiness.
Okay, well, let's get them back in here then. Thank you, contestants, for your presentations. Before I announce the winner, I just want to thank Lisa and Discovery Insure for today's task. It was really great, and great having you on the judging panel.
Definitely good best to be on this side of the table, Simon. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your input. And of course, Knox, thank you again for spending the season with me and making my life difficult. I really appreciate it.
Only a pleasure. Thanks.
Cruella Dlamini, I really appreciate it. To you, our contestants, I mean, let's be realistic here. Molatelo, Christelle, and Masachaba, you've really put in a good show. I mean, we started with over 50 contestants. It's 9 weeks. Some grueling tasks. You've had 5 grueling tasks, lots of rapid risk questions to go through, lots of premium presentations, and of course today finding yourselves in front of us in person, as so many people find very jarring when you're suddenly going from virtual back to in person. And I know that that's been challenging for you, but you can all be proud of yourselves for making it this far in the competition. But of course, there comes that point in the competition, the whole reason why you entered it. And the second place in this year's Insurance Apprentice is Molatelo Macheni from Auto and General.
Thank you.
And the winner of the Insurance Apprentice 2022 is Christelle Oordendaal from Hollard Insure.
I mean, how do I feel? It felt fantastic. It was the best feeling in the world. I can now know that I got this, I can do it. Where previously I had a lot of self-doubt. I didn't expect it at all, but I'm very happy. I'm glad, excited, honored. It's my new baby.